Hey, I'm Jeff and welcome back to another video. Today I'm really excited to try out a new type of moss pole system. Plus I want to give some updates as it's been quite a while since I've done a video, so let's check it out. So this is called the GrowLid and it's by Thiccly. So Thiccly is known for their moss poles. They developed this moss pole system. It's meant to be a kind of like a hydroponic setup. There's a couple features about this lid that I'm really excited about. The first one being this little moon-shaped cutout, and conveniently enough, it is meant to house the D-shaped moss pole. So you slide it all the way to the bottom, and that way when you add your nutrient solution, then it can wick it up into the moss pole. I'm going to talk about which substrate I'm going to use, whether it's moss or an aeroid mix. Now this slot right here, what am I doing here? I need my pencil. This slot right here is meant obviously to house the plant, and then whichever substrate that you want. Today I'm going to be choosing Lechuzapon for my substrate, and eventually the roots will grow through this little grate system into the pot, and you can have a complete hydroponic setup with a very stable moss pole like that. Here's an example of a Lechuzapon setup. It is a, I guess, semi-hydro setup, which I currently have. This is a Thiccly moss pole. It's just in a self-watering pot. I do have it currently in sphagnum moss, and it stays like consistently moist. But the problem with this over time is it doesn't have the structure that this moss pole has, and over time with weight, the moss pole tends to pull forward. So I like this setup. It has basically a nice solid foundation for when your plant starts to grow. It'll get top heavy. Now when it comes to Lechuzapon, this plant basically exploded with new growth. I've been battling thrips. You can see there's some thrip damage up there, so that's a little bit of a, I guess, an update. But this plant consistently puts out new leaves, and it looks super healthy all the time. Here's some of the older leaves. You can see, well, yeah, there's old thrip damage, and it's just looking pretty nasty. But all the new leaves, they're sizing up, and they're looking super healthy. It is a very easy system, although Lechuzapon, like the brand itself, is pretty expensive. I've had really good success with Lechuzapon, so I actually got to top up some water. You can see some of the roots popping through the bottom there. So I'm a huge fan of pon, especially with alocasias. But yeah, I'm glad, or I'm happy to see a setup that has a specific cutout or a slot for the moss pole, just to add a bit more structural stability. I do have another version. This one is a smaller GrowLid, and you can see it just has a little round hole in the top. Now it does come with these little sponges. You soak it in water. You can, I think you have to cut this side open. You place a cutting in, so conveniently enough I have a few cuttings in here. You place it in the sponge, and then you place it in the little hole like that, and over time the roots will grow, they will grow down into the nutrient solution or nutrient water, and then same thing, you can grow the small cutting up the moss pole, and yeah, it's just a cool little setup. This is going to be a little bit of a trial and error process, just because if you use all moss in the hydroponic system, the moss is going to stay pretty much saturated all the time. It's not going to really dry out. Now if you just use a substrate like just a straight aeroid mix, it's probably going to remain somewhat damp lower on the pole. Again, I have no experience with this. I'm just kind of doing an educated guess that most of the aeroid mix will not be consistently damp. What I'm going to try is I just mixed in a little bit of sphagnum moss into an aeroid mix, and hopefully those little strands of moss can help wick up the water to the top of the moss pole. So I'm hoping this will work. So I just have a few random cuttings propagating in water right now. The first one, it has a fairly decent root system, but I think I'm going to trim it back just a little bit, just so it seats a little bit better in the little mesh part right here. So it's going to kind of look like that. I'm going to add some pon in there in a second, but I'm going to fill up the, I have a moss pole right here. It's already pre-assembled. I might actually just use a new one. So when you buy a Thiccly moss pole, this is what they come in, just a little sheet, and all you do is just fold the creases until it comes into a D shape. So I'm just quickly fold it like that, and then all I'm going to do is add the substrate maybe partially up. So it does have these, once you connect them together, then it does have these little tabs right here where it'll actually hold the moss or aeride mix in the pole itself, just so when you stand it up it doesn't flow out the bottom. So I just put those tabs down, and I'm just going to fill up maybe just a portion of the moss pole for right now. I don't know if I have enough, but I should have enough. But I'm just going to fill maybe the top for now, just to see how it kind of wicks up over time. It has these little tabs that you just attach on the back. And then I probably will be using a little plant Velcro just to hold the plant onto the moss pole itself once I get it seated. Now I just added the Velcro on like that, just so the aerial roots or the nodes are in contact with the substrate here, so that way it can entice those roots to grow into the moss pole here. Now the one thing that I'm a little bit worried about, since this was propagated in water, I'm going to have to keep the water level pretty high for the first little bit, just so these water roots don't dry out. So pretty easy, just dumping the pond in there. It's not a lot of room in there, but I'm just going to pack it down, and once I give it some water, it's really going to help, I guess, solidify everything there. So I'm just going to pack that down. I'm going to take this over and give it a good soaking. Well, this just happened. Change of camera. I'm using my cell phone now because my expensive camera on my tripod, it literally just fell over, and now it doesn't work. So yeah, it is what it is. It's not even going to turn on. So yeah, lens is pooched. Everything's broken. Yeah. So anyways, moving on. So this is what the finished product looks like. Now it does come with these sponges that you can place in the bottom of the moss pole as well, like I did with this one here. But I think I'm going to leave them out for now. I just want to see how the moss and the aeride mix soak up the water. I have this cutting in water, and it looks like a philodendron micans, but I haven't had a philodendron micans in a very long time, so I have no idea which cutting this is, but it's perfect for the smaller pole setup, and I'm going to try the sponge method as well. So I'm going to place this back in here first. I'm going to grab my little utility knife, and I'm going to, whoops, slice open the side of it, and then that way I can put the cutting in the sponge and then just whoop, plop it in there like that. I'm going to show you how I have it. Looks like the back of the plant or the aerial roots are growing right there. So that's how I'm going to place it into the little hole here. And I want the back or those aerial roots to eventually grow into the moss pole. So right now it's a little bit of a gap, but as it grows, it will grow into the moss pole. I'll just add a little plant tie right there. I'm just going to fill water in the pot, and I might actually add one of these sponges like that just in the bottom so it can wick up the water into the moss. I'm going to be using moss on this one. I just want to see how it goes. So maybe I'll use, yeah, I'm going to jam one in there like that. Now, aside from the disastrous turn of events with my camera, I'm really happy how this setup turned out. So I think what I'm going to do now is just provide some updates with my plants. They all have thrips. So yeah, you can see some yellow leaves right there. That's probably, well, no, it looks like thrips. So my IKEA cabinet, full of thrips. So let's see what we have tonight. I've been squishing a lot of them, but you can see right here, this little thing. Let's see if I can get it nice and close. That thing right there, that's a thrip, so squish it. Like they were covered covered in thrips, and you can see all that thrip damage. Every leaf on here looks like trash. My poor collection. I started a new job as well, so I haven't been able to devote as much time as I want to the channel and my plant care. So look at all that thrip damage. Brutal. There's a thrip right there. Got some beautiful leaves like this new leaf coming in. Hopefully, well, I think we're starting to get maybe a little bit of damage right there. There's some thrips at the top. There they are. Dirty buggers. Look at them. So those are the nymph thrips. That's what I'm battling right now. But there are a few leaves that look okay, like this absolutely gorgeous strap leaf. I can't even remember which one this is called. It's just slipped my mind right now. I'm more focused on my camera, but look how long that is. It's crazy. So we're dealing with that. And like I said, I started a new job Monday to Friday. I used to be a shift worker. Now I don't have as many days off as I used to. Right now I only have the weekends off, where before I had a number of days, like 4 or 5 in a row, which I had dedicated to my plants and other hobbies and that sort of thing. So here's my large water-grown monstera. Here's the newest leaf. It's got some thrip damage at the top here, but I've been watching this one really close. I don't want this one to get consumed by thrips, but look what I've noticed tonight. It's getting a new leaf. This one consistently puts out new leaves. Oh geez, it needs water too. She's getting a little dry in there. So yeah, this one, it's my baby. I gotta keep this one going. So everything else is looking okay. Here's my competition pothos. It's still growing up the plank. The leaves are looking absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, everything, despite it looking okay. Ooh, we're getting a new leaf here. Yeah, everything is looking okay. I spray the leaves off, so hopefully that manages part of the thrip problem. But I don't have any access to systemic. Oh, we got some thrips there too. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not upset about it. It comes with owning plants. So I just wanted to let you guys know that it is okay to have pests. I shouldn't say it's okay, but it's common to have pests on your houseplants. It's what owning houseplants, yeah, it just goes hand in hand. Look at this beautiful monstera elbow leaf. So, oh, there's a ladybug. Come on, I want you to do your job and eat all those thrips. So, yeah, I have a limited time for my plants. I'm trying to focus on my channel as well. Oh, that's not looking good. That's not looking good. This is looking good. My kangaroo paw fern. She's looking juicy. But yeah, just a very brief update with the plants. We're doing okay. We're getting by. Oh, look at this leaf. This is the Philodendron gigas. I cannot get a normal leaf. I don't even know which anthurium that is, but got a nice new leaf coming through. So that's what's going on with the channel. So I haven't made a video for the last 3 weeks, so that's why I just wanted to make a video tonight, set up the Thiccly GrowLid. I'm really interested and excited to try that system, but also to just provide a little bit of an update on life situations and that sort of thing. So we're going to be doing lots of camping this summer. If you don't already follow my other channel, I'll leave the link down in the description of this video. It's camping based. It's all outdoors, hiking, fishing, all that kind of stuff. So when I'm out camping and doing all that kind of stuff, I'll be hopefully making videos on that channel as well. But I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. And until next time, I appreciate everyone watching my videos. Thanks for all the support. Take care, everyone. Bye.